Hello, folks. Welcome back. It's Mo again. So, we're going to continue with the group policies in this section. Well, in this lecture, I'm going to focus on the default domain policy. Let me go ahead and log on to my actual domain controller and show you. So, watch this. Let me just close it out again and tools and group policy management. First of all, I just have the defaults. So if I expand my domain.local and I expand group policy objects, there's actually only two of them, all right? I don't have much OUs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Active Directory users and computers, and I'm going to create some departments, some organizational units. So I'm going to create one called sales, and let's create another one called HR, right? And I'll create another one called QA for quality assurance, right? QA. Okay. And there you go. We did this again. All right. Let me just make it uppercase R better so they can actually follow. Okay, so I have a few departments under sales. I'm going to create two users. S1. Forget about the uppercase. S1 and logon name is S1. And look at this. I'm not putting an actual password. I'm going to leave it blank. I'm going to right click S1, copy S2. Right. I'll make a third one. Why not? S3, and I'm going to create a group. Okay. So here's a group also under here and call it SGRP. And I'm going to put S1, 2, and 3 in the group. Members, add S1, S2, S3. Then okay. I'm going to go to HR and do the same thing. H1, right? H1 and H2, and then H3. All right. H2. See, when I do a copy, I don't have to do that, remove that check mark again, and H3. And then I'm going to create a group called HGRP and add the users to it. It's easier to manage through groups, right? You'll see H1, H2, and H3. Then okay. And same thing for QA. I'm going to create Q1, right? Q1, Q2, and Q3, right? And Q3. And I'm going to create a group, QGRP, all right? And I'm going to put the users in the group, Q1, 2, and 3. Q2 and Q3. All right, good. We're actually done. So look at this. Look what I'm going to do right now. Let me go back to policies and refresh the domain. And I should see all the OUs. You see, I don't see the containers like users and computers because I can't apply policies to containers. I only can apply them to the domain level, the site level, and the OU level. Well, guess what? I just want to work with the default one right now. I want to make modifications to the default one. So I'm going to right click and choose edit. And right under here, I'm going to focus on computer configuration. So I'm going to expand policies, expand Windows settings, right? Check this out. This is going to be affecting the entire domain, expand security settings, and I'm going to look at account policies. And first of all, I'm going to look at password policy. What is the proper way of doing so? Well, first of all, I should make this enabled, right? I need to have complex passwords, uppercase, lowercase, numbers, characters. If you don't know what a policy is, you go to explain, and it tells you what it does, all right? So I'm going to click OK. Minimum password length, I'm going to say 7 characters, right? Minimum password length is 7 characters. That's also for the auditing. I'm going to show you the auditing, all right? And here is 7 characters. So how I could see that actually in Event Viewer. I'm going to enable that in a moment. And also enforce password history. You cannot use, let's say, the last 14 passwords. That's good for security. And minimum password age, you have to live with the password for, let's say, 5 days before you can actually change it, right? And the password will expire after 42 days. So that's one thing. And then I'm going to do account lockout. I'm going to say, for example, account lockout threshold is what? 3 or 5. If you put the wrong password 3 times, your account is going to be locked out. For how long? Okay, for what? For 30 minutes, 10 minutes. Look at this. How long do you want it for? Look at this. I mean, 10 minutes is actually fine. But look what I want to do. I want to make it 0, which is more secure, which means administrator has to unlock it manually. This prevents what? Brute force attack. So if I left it as 10 minutes, I am allowing the hacker to actually try 3 passwords every 10 minutes. Well, if it gets locked, the user has to contact me as a network admin, and I have to actually unlock it manually and, of course, reset the password. The account lockout duration, as you see, is 0. That's the best option. The reset, which is 10 minutes, what does that mean? 10 minutes. That means I have 3 tries within 10 minutes before it's actually locked. Allow administrator to unlock it? Yes, enabled. Allow administrator account lockout? Enabled. Is this something that you want to do? Right? So can the administrator be, if I double click it and I go to explain, it tells me, right, whether the built-in administrator to lock out or not. Probably this is not a good choice, right? Allow administrator account lockout. No, I don't want that. Let me disable that. All right. So this is not something that I want. I don't want to be locked out. I mean, I would have more than one administrator account, all right? And remember, Kerberos is the one that we're actually using for authentication. I cannot have more than 5 minute difference between the client and the server. Remember the auditing? I'm going to go to local policies, audit policy, and audit logon events. And I'm going to be checking this in event viewer. I don't care about success. I care about failure and audit account logon events. So we can see that auditing and remove that. I just made a lot of changes here. This is actually enough for the default for now. So I'm going to close this out. If I go to default domain policy, just to show you, and I go to settings, close this, I could see exactly what I did, right? I could see what I configured, and this will affect everybody under the domain, right? So what do? That's correct. I run GP update to refresh my policies. I like to always go back to here to the default and do GP update. Now I'm refreshing the actual policy itself. So let's give it a moment. Updating policy. Okay, good. How do I test it? Well, first of all, let me test the user accounts. If I try to reset, can I reset to a blank? No, I can't. Okay, how about if I try to reset and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? All right, 7 characters, 4, 5, 6, 7. And okay, no, I can't. Okay, let me put letters and numbers. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, ABC. 1, 2, 3, 4, ABC. All right. No, I can't. Okay, so I have to put a combination of 3. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, shift, and the number 1. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, shift, and the number 1. Now it works. See, that's complexity. So this is perfect. Well, what I want to do is I want to try some account lockouts. I want to see if it locks out. So what I do is the following. Whenever I do policies under computer configuration, I would tell you this, it's better to restart because the policy takes effect before you reach the logon screen. So I'm going to minimize this and I'm going to go to one of my 10 machines and I'm going to just do a reset over here just to be on the safe side. And I'll just log in as any user and I'm going to put the wrong password 3 times and I want to see if it actually gets locked, right? That's what I want to see right now. So let's give this a moment. And no matter how long I wait, it will never get unlocked because I mentioned I want the administrator to unlock it manually. Remember, we said not to lock out administrator. And this policy is linked to the entire domain, as you see, right? Linked to the entire domain. It's going to affect every single object in Active Directory, except for administrator, of course, or whoever's actually part of the domain admins group. We'll show you how to filter. But let's just test the account lockout over here. We said we actually have 3. If we put the password wrong 3 times, the account is actually going to be locked out. So let's give this a moment and see how this actually works for us. All right, we're back. So I'm going to choose S1. Watch this. Put the wrong password once. All right. Wrong password twice. Wrong password 3 times. And now it's going to tell me it's locked out. You see that? It's locked out for S1. So I have to go back to my domain controller, refresh. And if I double click S1 and I choose the account tab over here, it tells me that this account is currently locked out. I would have to unlock it from here, Or since the user forgot the password, I would have to reset and I could unlock at the same time. So I could say, give it a user a temporary password. Remember, it doesn't matter how long they wait, right? Uh, because I said lock it forever. Did it log it in Event Viewer? Remember the auditing that we did? Let me check. Server Manager, Tools, and let me go to Event Viewer and take a look and see over here. So let me expand Windows logs, and where should it be? Security. And you're going to see a lot of crazy logs, but I'm focusing on the one for the lockout itself. Let's give this a few more seconds, and it should populate. It's always good to check Event Viewer. It helps you for troubleshooting, by the way. Everything is in Event Viewer. There you go. I believe it's this one. This is the one that we're actually looking for. Okay. Let me double click it. Audit failure. Oh, S1. There you go. Kerberos. It tells me exactly what actually happened. Try to log into Udemy from this actual computer. It even tells me from which computer I actually tried to log in. Right. And I did it how many times? One, two, three. Then I got the lockout. All right. Then I got the lockout. That's how I know it's actually logged in here. Right. So this is actually perfect. It logs it in the event viewer. So this is just a simple task that I actually did for policies under the default domain policy, like password complexity, count lockout, this and auditing. This is extremely important to actually have. We're going to continue with more policies in another lecture in a few moments. All right, everybody. We'll see you later. Bye.